Richard and Mildred Loving, husband and wife, lay in bed, sleeping, that warm, peaceful Virginia night in July 1958. Around 2:00 a.m., the stillness was shattered when they were jolted awake by the glare of 3 flashlights and rousted out of bed by Sheriff Garnet Brooks and 2 deputies. It was a show of force by the entire sheriff's department. The sheriff and his deputies had been to the house before, during daylight hours, but had never found anyone home. This surprise, middle-of-the-night raid rewarded the sheriff with the lawbreakers he had been seeking. Standing beside the bed, Sheriff Brooks demanded to know what Richard was doing with the woman. A quiet man, no doubt confused by the intrusion, Richard didn't immediately answer the sheriff's question. Mildred spoke up instead, saying, "I'm his wife." Sheriff Brooks fired back, "Not here, you're not." Richard pointed to the couple's marriage license that the newlyweds had hung on the bedroom wall, as if to prove Mildred's words were indeed fact. But the sheriff scoffed, saying, "That's no good here." Richard, a 24-year-old bricklayer, and Mildred, a housewife just shy of her 19th birthday, had known each other most of their lives. He was white. She was colored, part American Indian and part Negro. Lifelong residents of Virginia, they lived in Central Point, a small rural area in Caroline County, some 50 miles northeast of Richmond, the state capital. Mixed marriages, those between a white person and a member of any other race, were against the custom in Virginia. They were also against the law. It had been that way ever since colonial times. Richard and Mildred had committed the crime of falling in love and marrying while continuing to live near their families and friends in Virginia. The sheriff charged the young couple with unlawful cohabitation, living together and having sexual relations without benefit of marriage, and arrested them. As Mildred remembered, Sheriff Brooks and his deputies then carried us to Bowling Green and locked us up. Bowling Green is where Caroline County's seat of government is located. While separation of the races in Virginia was commonplace, in Central Point it was different. The rural world in which Mildred Dolores Jeter and Richard Perry Loving grew up in the 1950s wasn't strictly divided racially into white and black. It was both segregated and interlaced. It never was like a lot of other places, Richard recalled later. Race, doesn't matter to folks around here. They just want to live and be left alone.